India's first National Environmental Survey is going to start in 2019. India's first National Environmental Survey is going to start in 2019. 55 districts across 24 states and 3 UTs. National Environmental Survey. 55 districts across 24 states and 3 union territories. The National Environmental Survey will rank all the districts on their environmental performance. They will rank the districts on their environmental performance and document their best green practices. Document their best environmental practices. Green practices and environmental practices based on various environmental parameters. So, National Environmental Survey is going to be launched from 2019. It is going to survey the districts and it will give the rankings to the districts about their environmental friendly practices. This will be carried out by Ministry of Environment, Forest and Climate Change, Government of India. Ministry of Environment, Forest and Climate Change, Government of India. This is really important. So we are going to have from next year National Environmental Survey. See, when such report comes by the government, definitely from next year onwards this report will be important for the exam. Next. You know we have a post called Attorney General. Article 76. Under Attorney General is the topmost legal officer in India. Attorney General post is a constitutional post. Attorney General post is a constitutional post. He will advise on all legal matters to the Government of India and he can have an audience in all the courts within the territory of India and he can sit in the Parliament without oath. He can sit in the Parliament without oath. Article 76. And there was second highest legal officer in India called Solicitor General of India. There is a second highest legal officer called Solicitor General of India. Tushar Mehta was a new Solicitor General of India. He was appointed for a period of 3 years and under Solicitor General there will be 4 additional Solicitor Generals. Tushar Mehta is our present Solicitor General and remember Solicitor General post is not a constitutional post. Solicitor General post is not a constitutional post. Union Cabinet approves establishment of National Council for Vocational Education and Training. National Council for Vocational Education and Training. Now there was National Council for Vocational Education and National Skill Development Agency. There are 2 different institutions. National Council for Vocational Training and National Skill Development Agency. Now these 2 institutions were merged and they were made National Council for Vocational Education and Training. So we are going to have to improve quality and market relevance of skill development program. National Council for Vocational Education and Training to improve quality and market relevance for skill development programs. And scientists developed world's first bioelectronic medicine. Scientists developed world's first bioelectronic medicine. Scientists from US claimed that they have developed world's first bioelectronic medicine which is implantable, biodegradable wireless device that speeds nerve regeneration, nerve regeneration and improves the healing of nerves, damaged nerves and improves the healing of damaged nerves. Bioelectronic medicine. Scientists have invented bioelectronic medicine. Healing of nerves, damaged nerves, Damage damaged nerves. Okay. Coming to today's newspaper. Important news in today's newspaper. The Supreme Court asked the central government how the decision on Rafale deal was made. The Supreme Court asked the central government how the decision of Rafale deal was made. Rafale aircraft deal with France. Rafale deal with France. There was a lot of allegations. Now Supreme Court intervened and asked how the deal was made. Congress demands Akbar's resignation. M.J. Akbar. M.J. Akbar. More than minister, I know him, his articles in newspapers. He was a very good journalist, M.J. Akbar. And there were many allegations on him right now on sexual harassment. And you all know Me Too campaign. Me Too campaign is looming large, and everybody should be very cautious. Now women are coming out and telling it's really good thing. Really good thing, Me Too campaign. Me Too campaign is a campaign which was launched in social media worldwide. How women should come out and tell how they were sexually harassed. How they were sexually harassed. It is not a government campaign. It was led by civil society. It was led by civil society. Me Too campaigns. Next. Coming to editorial page. First article is draconian move. Draconian. D-R-A-C-O-N-I-A-N. Draconian means very harsh. Draconian means very harsh. In Tamil Nadu, many years back, there was an article written in Nakiran magazine, and its editor Gopal got arrested. Very famous case, Nakiran Gopal. Section 124 of IPC. Now, the same section 124 is being invoked all the time in Tamil Nadu. Governor Banmalal Purohit, he threatened DMK party when the party have shown black flag demonstrations some months back. Black flag demonstrations. When somebody acts against the governor, against proper use of his office and decisions to overawe the governor, to create some threatening or fear towards the governor's office, then the governor can ask them to inquire about the case and file the case. Section 124. And there was some allegation on governor of Tamil Nadu, and now he was using the weapon of 124 to create some fear on the opponents. Let us wait and see what will happen. The allegation is Tamil Nadu governor was involved in some activities which are illegal, done by some assistant professor about women issues, sexual harassment, sexual issues. So this is the thing, but the move was considered as draconian by governor. Let us wait and see how it is going to end up. Next article, deadly roads. Deadly roads. The road accidents in India report. The road accidents in India report by Ministry of Road Transport and Highways, 2017. Last year there was total 1,47,913 victims who died in road accidents. 1,47,913. But the article says it was not exact data. More than 4 lakh people would have died in the road accidents. Even the persons who lost their limbs or some body parts, even that data they are not telling that it is correct. And reduction of these incidents, road accidents, is also not correct. That was the thing. And even nowadays, road accidents to pedestrians, bicyclists, bystanders, those who walk on the road also are meeting with injuries. Those who walk on the road, pedestrians. This was a pathetic thing. This was a pathetic thing. And now there was a concept called golden hour. Immediately within 1 hour, if you can take the patient to the hospital, at least you can save the life. 50% of the lives can be saved with this. 50% of the lives can be saved with this. Within 1 hour, if you can take the patient to the hospital. And they are called Good Samaritans, those who help the people in distress. Karnataka government has Good Samaritans law. Karnataka government has Good Samaritans law. And now, we have to design better roads and safety standards. Proper public infrastructure. Better roads, safety standards. Maintain proper public infrastructure. We should also ensure safety in public transport. Ensure safety in public transport. We should also maintain bus and other modes of transport standards. Standard code for bus and other modes of transport. And we should also require those who build public facilities and public roads, all these things, self-certification by the builders. And in the central level and state level, we should have road safety councils. Road safety councils at the central level and the state level. And professionalism in road safety maintenance. Professionalism in road maintenance and road safety. Finally, accountability of the government if there is negligence on the part of public systems. Accountability of the government. Professionalism, road safety councils, proper safety norms, public safety in public transport, proper public infrastructure, all those things. In spite of all these things, in a fraction of a second, accident might happen. In a fraction of a second. Okay, now seriously every day I am feeling that. Road safety is the biggest threat. And coming back, next steps after the 377 judgment. Next steps after the 377 judgments. This is section 377 to the extent of LGBTQs was considered as unconstitutional. Not the entire section 377 was wiped out, only with respect to LGBTQ. LGBT means lesbian, gay, bisexual, transgender. What is this Q? Q means queer or questioning. Those who are not certain about their own orientation. This new word Q is added nowadays. It was an American term actually. This LGBTQ is an American term. Lesbian, gay, bisexual, transgender. Q means questioning, queer. Q-U-E-E-R. Means those who do not know their sexual orientation. That's called queer. Now we have done away with LGBT punishments. That means section 377 is no more applicable to LGBTs. You are right. Then why don't, and they have discussed about various, section 497 adultery and section 498A dowry harassment. Section 498A dowry harassment. So the author discussed various things and ended up telling a new already existing demand. Make marital rape an offence. Make marital rape an offence. Punish marital rape. If a husband commits sexual violence on a woman without her consent, it's called marital rape. In India, in the name of marriage, everything will go. But why don't you disallow this? A woman should have that particular, what we can say, particular respect to follow her own conscience. If you don't do the same to women, just because a man married woman, he cannot own her body. This was the argument. This was the argument. So let's see. And most of the marriages in India are chain marriages. Again, this is the issue. And the article also discussed about POXO. The article also discussed about POXO. So we have to think about this. And the next important article today, the power of non-alignment. The power of Non-alignment. Non-alignment movement is a product of Cold War. After the Second World War, the world entered into the next phase called Cold War. When the world is divided into two power blocks, the capitalist bloc and the communist bloc. Capitalist bloc is led by America. Communist bloc is led by Soviet Russia. Capitalist bloc by America, communist bloc Soviet Russia. And now the birth of NAM we can find from Bandung Conference, 1955, also called as Afro-Asian Conference. The newly independent countries, the third world countries from Africa and Asia met in 1955 in a place called Bandung, Indonesia. Nehru of India, Sukarno of Indonesia, Tito of Yugoslavia, Nasser of Egypt, Nkrumah of Ghana. All these important statesmen, great leaders in the world, laid foundations to a movement called NAM. The first ever summit NAM was held in 1961 in Belgrade. From that time onwards, for every 3 years we have NAM summits. For every 3 years we have NAM summits. And the recent NAM summit was held in 2016 in Margaret Islands, Venezuela. Recent NAM summit was held in 2016 in Margaret Islands in Venezuela. In this article, the author started with NAM was taken birth with the initiative of the third world countries not to interfere in the rivalry and conflict of Cold War. Not to interfere in the rivalry and conflict of Cold War. And then they also spoke about how these countries have used their strength, the third world power, to end up in Cold War politics, to minimize the Cold War entanglements. And then the article spoke about how Afro-Asian countries, by coming together, used their soft power for balancing the international order. Used their soft power for balancing the international order. See, as a group of large chunk, today NAM contains 120 members. Today NAM contains 120 members. How these NAM countries have come together and tried to change the fate of the world. This is really important. And NAM was strongly against nuclear proliferation. Nuclear proliferation. In fact, it is one of the important efforts of the NAM in 1963. Because of NAM's efforts, Moscow Partial Test Ban Treaty, PTBT, Partial Test Ban Treaty, was signed in the world. PTBT, Partial Test Ban Treaty. Even Jawaharlal Nehru was a strong advocate of Partial Test Ban Treaty, and he also signed Partial Test Ban Treaty. And NAM countries followed naming and shaming policy. Those countries which harness the nuclear weapons, which try to proliferate nuclear weapons horizontally and vertically, were repeatedly heckled by NAM. NAM actually tried to point out those countries which are increasing their nuclear arsenal in an abrupt way. In a way, NAM was successful in that. NAM was successful in that. And slowly, the article also spoke about NAM was instrumental for FPT, Non-Proliferation Treaty. But the article said, by 1970s, India showed a tilt towards Soviet Russia. India drifted from some ideas of NAM, showed a shift towards Soviet Russia. And NAM helped in South-South cooperation. NAM also helped in decolonialization policy. Means many countries in Africa got independence in this period. NAM's one of the great demand is decolonialization. NAM do not want colonies anymore. Freedom and independence, rights and democracy for every nation. Independence in decision making policy. Though you are a small nation, it should be given to you. This was the objective of NAM. And then, now the other route, the power of non-alignment. The heading itself tells the power of non-alignment. Now the war was now between US and China. re-emerging things. Even Russia is re-emerging. China's aggrandizement in South China Sea. China's aggrandizement in South China Sea. America's hegemony in world politics. Increasing nuclear threats. Lack of technology transfer. Lack of commitment in the big powers for environmental protection. The new menace of terrorism, the growing menace of terrorism, and China's Belt and Road Initiative, which is trying to show its colorable face. On the face of it, it is for infrastructure development, but the ultimate objective of Belt and Road Initiative is to make the small countries depend on China. And now it's a time for NAM to get reinvigorated again, rejuvenated again, and try to start a new strength against the growing hegemony in economic way, in political way, in the world politics, and end up in unilateral positions in the world and try to build multilateral world. This was the objective of NAM. Multilateral world. It's a really important article, just you have to take care. Next. There is one more article in Hindu, teaming up with Tokyo. Teaming up with Tokyo. Our Prime Minister Modi, this month end, he is going to visit Japan. You all know Shinzo Abe is a strong Prime Minister of Japan. Japan is the highest provider of ODA to India, official development assistance. In fact, India-Japan relations are historical. When, after independence, when Nehru felt that the children who were war-torn, war-ravaged, they should have some amusement. Jawaharlal Nehru sent 2 elephants from India to Japanese Zoo. 2 elephants from India to Japanese Zoo. And Indo-Japan relations right now is more about investments. Delhi-Mumbai Industrial Corridor, bullet trains, bullet train technology, then Asia-Africa Growth Corridor, Africa-Asia Growth Corridor, Malabar Joint Exercises, majorly formation of Quad, Quadrilateral Security Dialogue, India, Japan, America, Australia. If Japan and India come together, they can counterbalance China. If Japan and India come together, they can counterbalance China. In the India's extended activist policy, Japan is a major partner. And right now we are under RCEP. We are pursuing RCEP, Regional Comprehensive Economic Partnership, in which Japan is also a partner. There are some issues between India and Japan here, but still Japan is a partner. And India is also wanted to purchase US-2I, amphibious aircraft from Japan. US-2I, amphibious aircraft from Japan. But the price and technology transfer are the issues. The price and technology transfer are the issues. And this article is a content-based article in India-Japan relations. All the students have to cut this article and paste. If you write this article exactly, that is India-Japan relations. Okay? Done?